Hey everybody, welcome back. Steve's Garage, I'm Steve, and we're working on the old 1929 Model A / Duesenberg lookalikes kind of thing. So I got all my wiring done, and of course when you wire anything, there's always a glitch, and as my buddy says, the wiring gremlin. So I wired this whole car. This is the third car that I've wired. I wired my hot rod, I wired a 52 Ford pickup truck that I rebuilt, and this here. I started with a 12 circuit wiring harness, eliminated what I didn't need, which was quite a bit. And the issue I had was the taillights. I got out of this car 20 times, snipping wires, splicing in separate runs, and going round and round. The pressure switch and the brakes, working under the dash here, trying to figure out why I could get brake lights alone, or I could get blinkers alone, but I couldn't get running lights. I had no running lights, and but I could get blinkers, and I could get brake lights, and I couldn't figure it out. Taillights on this car I bought at least a year ago, and I'm one of these people, if I see something that's really cool, it's like, I gotta have that, and I'll use it someday. Maybe I won't use it for a while, but now's the time I see it, because sometimes you never see these things again, and most of the time that's the case. You never see this stuff again. So I'm like, buy it when you see it. So I had these lights for a while. I wanted them for this car, and I was dreaming up this thing at the time, built it for the past year and a half, and so I swore those taillights were LED, and if you look at them, it's glass bulbs, not or glass red lenses in the back, not plastic. They're glass, and they have little, it's probably 60 or more, the way they form the glass, it's like they're convex bubbles, you know what I mean? So, and it looks like when it's lit up, it looks just like an LED light, because those all have that, looks like 50 little lights in it. So I swore that they were LED. So I couldn't get past this problem of, you have to have, Massachusetts, they're big for stickers here, and you've got to have, your running lights, your brake lights, your high beam, low beam, hazard lights, and the list goes on. And of course, blinkers and all that stuff. So I spent a week and laying awake at night going, what am I missing? I'm missing something simple. I just don't know what it is. So I called my buddy Ed. Ed, you know who you are. He watches the videos. We have a laugh over them afterwards. But he says, it's too bad there wasn't, 1157 bulbs, because that's a 2-filament bulb. That's the most common bulb. They've used those bulbs in the cars from the 50s until, I think maybe even now they have them in certain vehicles, but definitely all the way through the 70s into the 80s. And it's a 2-wire bulb socket, and one runs the large filament, one runs the smaller filament, and so one filament is brake light and blinker, and the other filament is running lights, or it's running lights and blinker and brake lights, one or the other. And so, sometimes people tell you something that just sticks in your craw, So I keep working on this thing, and a couple days later I say to myself, I gotta take this thing apart and see, the tail light, I've gotta take it apart and see what the hell's inside. Because then I'm thinking, well, if I can't get these LEDs to work with this system, then I'll have to maybe gut them out and put an 1157 socket in there. Just like I did with the headlights, I put halogen bulbs in there so they're bright, because these are old 6-volt, and I've changed this car to a 12-volt car. So now we have, the lights are brighter, you get the, stronger spark to the motor, we've got 100 different things that it does better. So I take the light apart, and what's inside? 1157 bulbs. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing wrong? So I called Ed and I go, I still can't figure it out. And he says, well, you have your 2 wires, and each wire powers one of the filaments. And I'm like, then the light came on. I just couldn't see through the freaking trees, you know what I mean? And what I had done, because an LED bulb has a hot wire and a ground. 1157 bulbs have 2 wires, but each wire runs one of the filaments. So what I had done is I had, hot wire, power going to the red wire, but the black wire I had going to ground. And as soon as I saw that and the light came on, like, yo, there it is. And I had it fixed literally in 10, 15 minutes. I was done with my wire at that point. Blinkers worked, everything worked. But, thanks for my buddy Ed again. Shout out. Great guy, smart, and a good friend. So every time you do one of these cars, and of course I've only done 3 of them, and I'm no car guru, and I don't claim to be a car guru. I just this is just another form of model building, or type of artwork or sculpture or something. It's just creative with the hands and the brain. So it just seems that every time I've done one of these cars, I've had one freaking thing, and it's typically it's power or ground. This time it was the bulb, and it's always simple because it's you can't get any simpler than you have positive and negative wire. You know what I mean? We're a negative ground here and positive supply, so it's pretty basic, but we get caught in a corner sometimes, and that's what happens. So, without any further ado, and that was all the ado, let's take a look at what's going on here. I'm very excited that we got this thing going. So, I got a brand new phone, and I made this video not too long ago, about a half hour ago, and I hit a button and I erased the whole damn thing while I was talking. So, here's the wiring. I've got braided stuff to go all around here. It'll hide that, and it'll be in black. And then all the way, I've got to kind of gather things up and clean it all up. But like I said, I just finished it the other day. So let me turn the power on. So I've got a shut-off switch in here. We're gonna turn that on. So that takes power away from the battery, so you don't have it running all the time. So now we can show you headlights are on, and then here's my high beam switch on the floor. Right? So I'll show you now that's high beam, goes down to low beam, high beam. All right. And now we've got their blinkers in here, and I actually put blinker markers in the dash. So you got left and right, and you can see the little high beam emblem in the middle, and you hit high beam, it brightens up and then goes down. So I'll show you the blinkers running. So here's our driver's side blinker going, and then we go out back here. And we got the driver's side blinker going. Don't forget headlights are on, so both are running, but one's blinking. And then we'll go to the driver's side, or passenger's side, sorry. So the right side is blinking, and lights are both on because it's headlights are on. There is the front. Both headlights working beautiful. Now I'll show you emergency flashers. So pull that button on. And then we've got emergency flashers, or if you're giving the president a ride through the center of town in the big parade. And we get flashing in the back. And you can see the emergency flashes are working on the dash. All right. That's what shuts that down. And then we got the horn here, the horn button. So I couldn't be happy with that. The horn I renovated. And it's an actual old Ford horn. I took it apart, cleaned everything up, all the contacts and all that. and it works like a champion. So that is that. Shut the lights off. Oh, I also put my voltmeter on, and that's showing 12 volts, as you can see. So everything is in action, and we're working good here. So I'm going to come back, and again, when it's not in use, take the power off. You don't have to worry about any, it's just in case there's any wiring issues, And then underneath, you can see I have my fuse box, and everything is from the dashboard wired back, and as good as you can get it, because these Fords, the gas tank is right under here, so you have to, there's no room for, it's not like a dash in a car where you have all that room up underneath and you tuck everything underneath. So where we're moving forward to is I'm starting to make the pattern for my carpet. And I've got my carpet right here. And I went back and forth over black or a tan, but I saw this carpet and it matches the car, so well that this is going to be the floor. And the thing that really sold me on it is calling this car the Viking, because it's made from scratch and there's no name to it. And this floor is made by a company called Viking. So I thought that was kind of cool and meant to be. So what I'm going to do is set up and see if I can show you a little bit of the pattern work, and we'll go from there. What I'll do is go to the other side. Go to the other side. Hey, slow down. Nope. All right. Yeah, it is a really nice day out there today. Amazing weather. Like no winter. Not having winter anymore. It's pretty strange. So I've got straight edge, some tape, and with patterns, you don't have to try to cut everything out of one piece of paper. Use multiple pieces, Otherwise, make yourself crazy. Okay. Well, if you saw my last video, we were talking about our phones, but everything worked out. What are you gonna do? That's life. That's life. think that's pretty good. So the whole purpose of this exercise is to make a paper pattern, and then I can just take the paper pattern, flip it over on top of the carpet, and cut the carpet. So I'm ready on here top. So I know when I take this thing off, I flip it over, and I'll have the carpet flipped over so you're seeing the bottom. Cut around the pattern all the way around, and I can just plop this back in. So another reason for using multiple pieces is because up here underneath, you know, we have a shift knob, an emergency brake, clutch pedal, gas pedal, steering column, starter button, gas pedal, and high-low beam switch we've got to cut around. So if I cut those all really accurate with the pattern, then I can pre-cut all that out on the carpet, because, you know, if you've done anything like this before yourself and you get to the point where you get it in the car and all of a sudden it doesn't line up to, you know, when you're going around all those little buttons and stuff, and then you're trying to cut through the carpet and then it doesn't line up under there. You know what I'm talking about. Is what it is. Is what it is.
Like I said, I don't care how much paper I got on it because that's just going to make it that much more rigid when I take it apart and use it as a pattern. So, I'm not going to hold you all hostage while I make this whole pattern, because you're probably just about ready to click anyway. So, I'm going to show you what I've got done and explain what's happening, and then we'll all move on with our day. So, as you can see, I've got it, cut in, and I've got panels going across here, and then the back has a panel. Then here, I'm going to put an aluminum bar in here, and this will be curved, and it'll cover the edge. That'll be something so your foot won't grab the carpet when you get into it. So that's it. I'll make the whole entire pattern out. I still, it's got quite a ways to go. And then I can put it on the carpet, cut it, and we'll install the carpet. And I'll show that in another video. So for now, everybody, this is where we are. We're running. We got spark. The motor will start. I haven't put any fuel in the motor yet because I just don't want to have it sitting with fuel for who knows how long until I get my, I've got to get my windshield done, I've got to get the interior done, get the seats in, so I just don't want it, sitting and that fuel just hanging out in the shop. So for now, thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for coming back, and please like and subscribe. We're trying to get up to 600 people. I think we're at 597. We're slowly getting there. But thanks again. We'll keep you posted as we go. I can't wait to get this thing started and get it outside. The spring weather's coming. It's only February. We've got a ways to go. But if it keeps going like this, we'll be out early this year. So thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Happy Friday.